Hey guys, it's CryptoXD here with another video, and today I want to do a deep dive into my favorite project for 2024, and this is none other than Zkfair. Okay, so I'm sure if you have been subscribed to my channel, you'll see me talk about Zkfair. Okay, and finally I got this chance to go deeper and dive into why I think Zkfair will be in the top 10 crypto of 2024. Okay, but before I go into that, alright, I just wanted to talk more about this project and what it is. Alright, so Zkfair is a community-owned layer 2, right? Like Manta Network, like Celestia, like many other different. Okay, Celestia is not layer 2, right? Celestia is on Cosmos, but there are many other layer 2s like ZK Linear, right? So Zkfair is another layer 2, okay, but they are quite different from the way their competitors are positioned. Okay, so as you can see here, there are no investors, no reserve, and no pre-mining. Alright, fair launch, 100% of ZKF tokens will be airdropped to community immediately after the mainnet launch. Okay, and fair reward as well, because 100% of the gas profit will be returned to the community after the ZKF token airdrop. So Zkf is the first community ZKL2 based on Polygon CDK and Celestia DA, powered by Lumos, a ZKRAAS provider. Zkfair utilizes stablecoin USDC as the gas token, and it ensures 100% EVM compatibility, exceptional performance, minimal fees, and robust security. So in today's Ethereum ecosystem, ZK Rollup technology is gaining traction as a vital solution for scalability enhancement and reducing transaction costs. However, most of the rollups today, they have a common issue of unfairness, which is true, because VCs get a very early entry point on many of these different layer 2s. Alright, if you go and do a quick Google search, you will see that ZK, right, Linear, they have raised hundreds and millions of funds, even Manta, right? Manta Pacific as well. There's just so much VC funding in a lot of these large layer 2s. And by the time, as retails, you and me, we are retailers, right? Because we are retail buyers. We don't buy in the millions of dollars. So by the time we buy the tokens, they could really be up 50, 100 times the price of an entry point of the VCs. Right, so there's just a lot of unfairness because you can't get in early on these projects despite knowing their potential. So who will be the one making most of this profit? Of course, it's the VCs who are making most of the profits as well. Okay, so there's no such thing in this project because I was there when there was the gas fee airdrop, alright, which I'll talk about in a moment. Okay, so that's why they say there's an urgent need for a new kind of ZK rollup project that is entirely driven by the community. Alright, focusing on fairness and innovation and returning all rightful benefits to the users. Okay, so over here they explain a little bit more about a fair ZK layer 2, which is their vision for Zkfair. So over here it states, alright, experimental project. I think the most important part is that it's an experimental project, and that's what makes this so interesting, because they say it's a daring 100% experimental venture, alright, fueled by the relentless pursuit of innovation. I really love the overall vibes, the overall narrative of Zkfair because of how they position themselves. And even if you look at their website, they use very bold colors like red, white, and black, which really stands out for the website. Even their fonts look amazing, right? It looks exciting, it looks fun, it looks mysterious. And that's what I love about this project, right? In terms of the way they brand themselves. Okay, so now we talk about the token itself. So what is the use of the token, right? Since the gas fees is paid in USDC, then you won't need to hold ZKF tokens to pay for any gas fees. So besides governance, because of course holding ZKF allows you to participate in governance on the platform, it also allows you to stake your tokens over here. As you can see, you can stake. Alright, you can stake on a weighted period, right? The longer you stake, you have a higher period weight, and you can start earning revenues in the form of gas fees. So whenever people transact on Zkfair, they pay gas fees. So the more you stake here and the longer you stake, the more you will get in terms of the rewards from these gas fees that's being paid by the users of this ecosystem. So again, this is of the first of its kind. There is no layer 2 right now that allows you to stake your tokens and earn stable coins. Alright, Solana allows you to stake Solana and you are going to earn Solana. You're not going to earn USDC or USDT. Alright, and this puts you in a lot of risk, puts you in a risky position because you basically stake Solana to get more Solana, and whenever Solana price fluctuates, it affects the value of those tokens. Alright, but USDC is not going to fluctuate. The token values that you earn from staking is stable, it's reliable. Okay, as long as there is users, you will earn reliable income from staking Zkfair. Okay, and if Zkfair can onboard a lot of projects, they can get high user network activity, your API is going to be ridiculous. Alright, I think initially the API is going to be very low because there's just not a lot of projects and users right now. But if let's say, they have as many users as Solana today, I think this API is going to be sitting at 100%. I'm not surprised because the gas fees revenues from the project is insane. Alright, so besides that, okay, the total supply is 10 billion and the gas fee airdrop is 7.5 billion, and the rest of the 2.5 billion is given to community members. Okay, and the funds they raise is only 3 million USDC. Can you imagine a project is only raising 3 million USDC? A project that is this big. And today they are sitting at over $100 million of market capitalization. Okay, so I'm hyper bullish on this project. They didn't raise that much funds, and I will talk about why I suspect there is VCs involved in this project. It's either that or the team members behind this project is very experienced. They have a large connection within the crypto markets. Alright, but I'll go into that in a while. Okay, so besides the staking and besides the L2, which I have already shared, alright, you can stake, you can share gas fees. Okay, now I want to dive into the network, alright, the layer 2 network, the technology they use. Okay, so the technology they use is called Validium. Alright, over here you can see on L2bit, alright, Zkfair using Validium. So if you look at from the top to the bottom, okay, there is a lot of different technologies. Alright, there is optimistic rollup, there is Optimium. Okay, so Optimium is very hyped right now because Manta Pacific uses Optimium and Mentor and Metis also uses Optimium. And Optimium is very fast in the technology. Okay, and of course there is a lot of ZK rollups as well. Alright, if you look at down, you will see ZK Sync, right? Another ZK rollup. Okay, base is optimistic rollup. Okay, but if you look down further, you will see that Validium is not common on the list. Alright, most of them is optimistic rollup of ZK rollup. I think Validium is just 10 or 15% of these layer 2s they are using Validium. Okay, so what are the advantages of Validium? Alright, so Validium is actually a layer 2 scaling solution that leverages zero knowledge proofs to verify on-chain transactions. Alright, its primary goal is to enhance the scalability, privacy, and security of the Ethereum network. Okay, so in comparison to ZK rollups, what are the benefits? Alright, and why is it the most promising choice for future L2s? I think Trustless Labs covered this part very well. Okay, they did their research and I'm just going to explain why. Okay, why they think this will be the most promising choice. Alright, so firstly, the technical features of Validium. Alright, Validium reduces Ethereum's network load by storing data off-chain. It keeps state roots and proofs on-chain while data availability is off-chain. This approach balances reduced gas fees with faster transaction processing. Alright, the next you have is security and cost efficiency. While off-chain, data storage decreases immediate data availability and security. The inability of project operators to withdraw funds illegally. Alright, no rug pull capability. Okay, ensures relative security. Alright, this is crucial for non-financial applications which typically involve lower financial stakes. In comparison with other systems such as rollups, alright, Validium offers a middle ground, sacrificing some data immediacy for lower cost and enhanced privacy. It's a strategic balance between decentralization and traditional centralized systems. Alright, and the last one is application scenarios and trade-offs. Alright, high value transactions might prefer other architectures, but applications like gaming or social media may greatly benefit from Validium's efficiency. Okay, and this is in reference to Vitalik's opinion on Validium. Alright, so I think Validium is a very optimistic technology that we haven't seen a lot of adoption in the space. Alright, there really isn't much. Okay, at the moment, the largest Validium that we have is Immutable X. Okay, even if you look at Immutable X, it has a TVL, a total value lock, of 194 million. But you know what the market cap of Immutable X is today? If we search here Immutable X, okay, Immutable X is sitting at $2.19 and look at its market capitalization. It's at more than 10 times its total value lock. Alright, look very carefully. Yeah, okay, Immutable X. Right, 194 million, and today's market cap is sitting at $2.8 billion. Alright, and it's fully diluted as 4.3 billion. Okay, remember that Zkfair is already fully diluted, and look at Zkfair market cap. It's fully diluted, is at 143 million. Look at the wide and vast difference. Alright, and you look at the total value lock, it's not that much difference. Zkfair has a value lock of 132 million, which is 2/3 of Immutable X. So if you go by a comparison ratio of the market cap, alright, to the total value lock ratio, shouldn't Zkfair market cap be 2/3 of Immutable X? And 2/3 of Immutable X is supposed to be nearly $2 billion. That is nearly a, what, 15x? Almost a 15x return on your profits, right, on the price action. Okay, but Zkfair, again, like I say, is an underrated project. Most people haven't noticed Zkfair, they haven't heard of Zkfair, they don't know what Zkfair is, and there isn't a lot of projects on Zkfair yet. Alright, but in a moment, I'll show you why the total value lock is so high. Alright, even though there's not a lot of projects on Zkfair. Okay, and besides that, I think I want to make another comparison, right? I think Mentor is one of the very popular platforms as well in recent times. Okay, so if you look at Mentor, even if you look at Mentor right now, okay, it's 78 cents today. It had a huge pump. Market cap is sitting at $2.4 billion. And again, its total value lock is only at 299. Alright, that's 8 times. The valuation of Mentor is 8 times its total value lock. So even if you put Zkfair valuation at 8 times, it's supposed to be at 1 billion market cap. So why is it still sitting at 143 million? Isn't that at least a 7 to 8x return? Alright, when people start to realize the difference, the gap in the market expectations is on Zkfair and why it's so underrated and undervalued. Okay, now let's move on to talk about Zkfair and why I think the team has VCs involved. Alright, I could be wrong. Maybe the VCs themselves are the one that kickstarted this project. Alright, but before that, alright, let's talk about Zkfair and when their token launched. Alright, so the token launched on 1st January, as you can see here. Okay, and here is the Zkfair airdrop where people can start to claim their tokens. So they wanted to start January on a good note. That's why they launched on 1st of January. So we can easily measure the progress on where Zkfair price and how much the ecosystem has grown by the end of December 2024. Okay, so yeah, in just a matter, look at this, January 1st, right? And today is January 11th, so that's just 10 days. Look at what the team has accomplished. Just look at this. Alright, they have listed on so many exchanges. Gate.io is quite big, alright. Bybit is big, KuCoin is big, BitGet is also quite big, alright. HTX, which used to be Huobi, is also a very huge platform, right? All of these are huge centralized exchanges. Alright, there are also some decentralized exchange that list Zkfair as well, such as WooFi. I think WooFi is listed, but it's not tracked on this page. Alright, so just think about it for a second. Okay, Zkfair only raised $3 million. Remember that their gas fee airdrop, they only raised $3 million. Alright, where was it? Okay, over here, you see, the event has cleared cap of 3 million USDC in gas fees, so that's their revenue. Okay, so do you think with 3 million in funding, you can run a team and get so many listings on so many different exchanges? Alright, do you know how expensive it is to pay for exchange listing, especially if you don't have connections within the space? Alright, an exchange listing on KuCoin can be 200,000. to 500,000. Alright, even Bybit and Gate.io could be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Alright, Binance listing, I heard it was 1 million. And I heard they raised their price to 1.5 million to list on an exchange. So if you just think for a second, if you think that they raised 3 million and they have so much resources to do all of this, is that even possible? Or could the team be the VCs behind it? Or could the team have a lot of experience, a lot of connections within the space that many other different projects don't have? That's why they don't need as much funding, right? Or the most ideal one, which I think VCs are involved in this project. I think that's the most ideal explanation. Alright, they aren't involved in the sense that they are not early investors. Alright, they participated in the 3 million gas fee airdrop, the same as we retail investors did. Alright, and that's the most ideal explanation. And because they hold such a large amount of tokens, they wanted to support the project in these listings. Alright, and that's why we see within 10 days, Zkfair can get listed on so many exchanges even though they don't have much funding. Alright, that's my biggest and largest speculation on why I think Zkfair Binance listing is very near. Alright, if VCs are involved in this, why do you think Binance or Coinbase won't list this token as well? Alright, I think it's very likely that Binance will list this very soon. Alright, even possibly this month. Okay? So yeah, I think with the fundamentals, with all the fundamentals that we talk about, alright, now I want to talk about the ecosystem. Okay, so over here at Zkfair page, you can click on the ecosystem and it will bring you to this page. Alright, and they have already integrated many different bridges where you can bridge your tokens to the Zkfair network. Alright, I think RhinoFi is one of the larger ones. You have like Mason. Mason is a smaller bridge. Alright, you have Orbital Finance, which is huge also, and you have Our2. So if you don't want to use the main bridge, alright, if you want to use the main bridge, just click on this, right, and it will bring you to the main bridge, which only supports the Ethereum network. Okay, you can easily use any of the other ones like RhinoFi or Orbital Finance, which supports more networks. Okay, and there really isn't a lot of projects yet right now. Alright, as you can see, there really isn't much. Less than 100 projects on this platform. Alright, and a lot of these projects, they aren't much. Alright, the two NFT projects right now that we have is Zkfair Punks and Zkfair Frogs. Alright, and they are listed on Alien Swap. So if you're interested on getting yourself one of these just at $2, I think it's pretty worth it. I mean, $2, what is $2, right? $2 is just $2. And even if you look at Zkfair Punks, they are listed for $9 only. Alright, that's barely any. It's so cheap to buy a punk. If you think Zkfair network will explode in 2024, then not buying yourself one of these NFTs is doing yourself a disservice. Alright, because the risk is so low, it's so little. Can it do 100x from this price? Sure, why not? If Zkfair gains a lot of adoption, it could easily do 100x in price. Alright, all these NFTs, especially they are pioneering NFTs on the Zkfair platform. And I'm expecting a lot of airdrops as well for holding these NFTs. Alright, don't quote me, but I think when more projects start to launch on Zkfair platforms, we will start to see airdrops to holders of Zkfair Punks, to holders of Zkfair Frogs, to holders of Zkfair tokens. Alright, because this is a marketing effort. You want to gain more marketing, you want to gain more users, you want to gain more traction, airdrop is the way to go. Alright, so holding yourself some of these Zkfair Punks or Zkfair Frogs could qualify you for future airdrops when more projects launch on the Zkfair network. Alright, and I want to talk about one more use case for Zkfair. Okay, but before that, let's talk about SiteSwap. SiteSwap is the largest decentralized exchange right now on Zkfair Punk. Alright, and the other exchange, but the other exchange is not native. Alright, it's called Izumi. So Izumi is also enables the Zkfair network. Alright, but Izumi supports many other different networks. Okay, but SiteSwap is completely native to the platform. That means this platform, right, not only are they working very closely with the Zkfair team, this platform doesn't support any other networks at the moment. Alright, its native launch is on Zkfair, so its main use case is for Zkfair platform. And just look at the liquidity pool, man. Look at this. This is killing it at 31 million LP lock. And people are farming the airdrops for this token. It's just insane. Look at the airdrops. Alright, you can just stake anything in the liquidity pool and you can earn yourself some free side swap airdrops. Alright, but on top of that, look at this. 7% of ZKF stakers will be eligible for airdrops as well, which is what I predicted way back as well. I think a lot of projects that launch on Zkfair, they support the idea of fairness. And when they support the idea of fairness, they will airdrop to ZKF stakers or ZKF token holders. Okay, so that's why I'm super bullish on this project, because I think plenty of people will start staking their Zkf if they know they can earn free airdrops. Alright, just like staking your Cosmos Atom tokens, or staking your TIA tokens, right, Celestia, or even staking your Injective tokens to earn airdrops. Staking your Zkf could also earn you airdrops from the entire ecosystem for future projects that launch on this platform. Alright, so that's the third and final use case I have for the tokens, and I am hyper bullish on the network. Alright, but before I end this video, I wanted to talk about the drawbacks that I have for using this Zkfair ecosystem. Okay, so right now, I've transacted quite a bit on the Zkfair, and I feel the RPC is not extremely stable yet right now. Okay, so it's not super user friendly because the transactions might take a while. Alright, and even for the RPC to load the value of your USDC or your Zkfair in your wallet could take a couple of seconds, so it doesn't feel as fast. Alright, and the gas fees are relatively high compared to most networks. Okay, your gas fees can be easily between 20 cents to 70 cents, sometimes even over $1 for putting funds into liquidity pools. Alright, which is on the higher side for most of the layer 2s. Alright, but I think this is just a temporary thing, because my guess is the Zkfair team wants to kind of gain a little bit more revenue initially to support their team's effort. Alright, because remember, they only raised 3 million in funding. That's not a lot. Alright, so their initial idea is to kind of charge more for gas fees so they can gain a little bit more revenue to support the project on a longer term. Alright, because the team doesn't own any token. Remember, the 100% is airdrop. So even if the team owns any tokens, they would have to participate in the gas fee airdrop launch themselves. Alright, so with that being my guess, right, I think their revenue right now, they are trying to gain a little bit more revenue. Alright, but over time, I think the gas fees will be reduced. Alright, don't quote me on this again. Alright, but I'm fairly confident they will reduce the gas fees to perhaps 10, 15 to 20 cents to kind of match the expectation for layer 2s and still make it profitable for Zkfair stakers to stake on the network. Okay, so that's all for my deep dive analysis. Alright, if you love this deep dive, be sure to like, alright, and subscribe to the channel and follow me on X as well. And yeah, that's all for this video. Alright, and I will see you guys in the next one.